Welcome back. Today we're going to get a new comma rule. This comma rule is about series, which means lists of things. So our series rule is when you have a list of items, which are things, or adjectives, separate each item with a comma. I'd like to point out our Stormtrooper Legos here. They're all the same kind of thing. So in our list of Stormtrooper Legos, we're going to separate them all with commas. Please notice they only go in between the stormtroopers. They don't go before and they don't go after, just to separate them. So we have some examples of the series rule here. I'm gathering the mind, power, reality, soul, space, and time stones so I can save the universe. Got a list of things here. So we're going to separate all of the alike things with these commas. I'm having a party with Doug, Mrs. Gorf, Tom Brady, and Bruce Wayne. I think we're only going to have a bunch of apples at the end of this party, but in the meantime, this is a bunch of people. Doug is a person, Mrs. Gorf is a person, Tom Brady is a person, and Bruce Wayne is a person. So in between every two people, we need a comma. Got to social distance those people just a little bit. And down here, the bored, restless, overheated crowd began to shout. So this unhappy crowd, we have three adjectives describing them. They're bored, they're restless, they're overheated. All of these adjectives need to be given a little bit of space with these commas. Every two adjectives need one comma in between. We don't need a comma after the last adjective before the noun. They're not the same. Now, let's talk about something that looks like an exception, but really isn't. My mom makes great French bread. This looks like we have an adjective great and an adjective French, but we don't really. French bread is the thing she's making. It's great. That is an adjective. Because French is not actually going to be an adjective here, as part of what the thing is, we're not going to use a comma. And you can know that we're not going to need a comma because you would never reorder these two adjectives, or the adjective and the not adjective, the other way. We're never going to say my mom makes French great bread, because this is actually part of the one thing we're talking about. We don't need a comma here. Not like our bored, restless, overheated crowd. If they were a restless, bored, overheated crowd, it would mean exactly the same thing. So it needs commas. French bread does not. Let's look at another example. I saw a shiny kitchen sink. Now again, it looks like we have an adjective shiny and an adjective kitchen, but we don't run around describing things as kitchen. A kitchen sink is a kind of thing, and we're saying it's shiny. So again, we can know because we would never go say, I saw a kitchen shiny sink. That sounds stupid, because a kitchen sink is a kind of thing. So we really just have one adjective describing a thing with two words. Because it's not really two adjectives, no comma here. And in the same way, a dog breed is also not an adjective. It's describing a specific creature here. The big fuzzy Great Dane puppy fell over. We do have adjectives in this sentence. We have big, we have fuzzy. You can talk about the big table. You can talk about the big couch. You can talk about the big car. Fuzzy might describe a dog or a hamster or a bad hairdo. Definitely, these are adjectives, and you can see that comma we've got in between. Great Dane? There is only one thing we ever talk about being a Great Dane. Great Dane puppy is all a single thing here. You're not going to go talk about your Great Dane sister. You're not going to go and talk about a Great Dane anything. So, adjective, adjective, not an adjective. One thing. So, great French bread. No comma. French bread's a thing. Shiny kitchen sink. No comma, kitchen sink is a thing. Big, fuzzy Great Dane puppy. We do want a comma between big and fuzzy. They are regular old adjectives. We could say we have a fuzzy, big Great Dane puppy. Never going to say, I have a Great Dane big fuzzy puppy. So, one comma between our real adjectives. The rest of it, this is a thing. So, one more time. When we have a list of the same kind of things, list of people, list of things, list of adjectives, list of adverbs, we always separate the same kind of thing with commas. It's called our series rule because a series is a list.